The Trump White House has a clear interest in South America. The question is why? Let's check it out. And welcome to Rob Schmitt Tonight. Over the last couple of months, it's become increasingly clear the Trump White House is very interested in South America. What's not clear is the motivation tonight. It began with Venezuelan drug boats blowing cartel speedboats packed with drugs out of the water as they raced toward the United States. It's fun to watch. It's satisfying to see. Trump picking a fight with communist dictator Nicolas Maduro, who is an awful person who deserves to die. The administration then went after Colombia, another major drug-producing nation led by another communist, Gustavo Petro. That was last week's blown-up submarine. You remember that story in Colombia, where two drug runners miraculously survived. That boat had come from Colombia. It was in international waters. And in both cases, the president said the attacks were defensive for our country. We're fighting the war on drugs, specifically on fentanyl, a cutting agent for Latin American cocaine and other drugs, which kills tens of thousands of Americans every single year.
We've recently begun using the supreme power of the United States military to destroy Venezuelan terrorists and trafficking networks led by Nicolas Maduro. To every terrorist thug smuggling poisonous drugs into the United States of America, please be warned that we will blow you out of existence.
They are a drug manufacturing machine, Colombia, and we're not going to be part of it. So we're going to drop all money that we're giving to them. They make tremendous amounts of cocaine, and they send it all over the world, and they destroy families. No, Colombia is out of control, and now they have the worst president they've ever had. He's a lunatic who's got a lot of problems, mental problems.
Trump slamming the communist leaders of both Venezuela and Colombia. And it all becomes more interesting, though, when you look wider at what's happening in Argentina right now. A week ago, Javier Milei came to the White House, a hero of the conservative movement. I love this guy. Milei, famous for taking a chainsaw to Argentina's corrupted and very bloated government since he's been elected. Similar to here in the U.S., only much worse, big government elites in Argentina have destroyed the country's currency by spending too much and devaluing the money to cover their habits and their costs, which crushes everybody in the society. Trump stepping in with a $20 billion currency swap, ours for theirs, to strengthen Argentina's economy, as Milei does the very painful work of trying to rip the country away from the grips of socialism. It's very, very, very hard to do this. It's very painful to do this. He deserves a fighting chance, Trump believes, and he's helping him. Trump helping to stabilize things before the midterms in Argentina come this Sunday, hoping that his party can stay in some kind of control of that country and bring it from the brink and where it was headed. Trump also floating the idea of buying a tremendous amount of Argentinian beef to stimulate Malay's economy, lower beef costs here in the U.S., and also create a hedge against China, which is buying a lot of beef and soy from Argentina as well. He's trying to figure out a way to get a fair trade deal for the United States with China. He's trying to box them out in this way. And all of those ideas are good. Those ideas are probably great. But buying Argentinian beef is not so popular among the America First types as well as American cattle ranchers.
But my question is, what do you have to say to U.S. farmers who feel that the deal is benefiting Argentina more than it is them, as they are a...
Argentina's fighting for its life, young lady. You don't know anything about it. They're fighting for their life. They have no money. They have no anything. They're fighting so hard to survive. If I can help them survive in a free world, I happen to like the president of Argentina. I think he's trying to do the best he can. But don't make it sound like they're doing great. They are dying.
So most of the Trump base loves Javier Milei, the president of Argentina. We saw him at CPAC. He was amazing. But you doubt many people, or many believe, that he would take priority or should take priority over U.S. cattle ranchers here in the United States. A tweet from Merriweather Farms in Wyoming to the president. We love you and support you, but your suggestion to buy beef from Argentina to stabilize beef prices here in the U.S. would be an absolute betrayal to the American cattle rancher. We understand there are larger economic and geopolitical dynamics at play, including countering CCP influence in countries in our hemisphere. But the practice of solving problems over there before solving problems here on our soil is what contributed to the downfall of our country. Americans always come last. From Marjorie Taylor Greene, Congresswoman from Georgia. I'm hearing the same sentiment in my district. We love President Trump. Please tell him to stop helping foreign countries and put Americans first. So clearly not a popular idea. So what is the motive for all of this activity, for what's happening with Argentina, for what's happening with Colombia and Venezuela, all of this interest in South America? Some suspect that these are policies that look like Rubio's influence, a Secretary of State, the son of Cuban refugees. Nobody understands the threat of communism in Latin America more than our Secretary of State. The New York Times claims Rubio is a lead voice pushing for the ouster of Nicolas Maduro. Could be. Another possible reason for this could also be the border. The White House right now is spending a fortune and a lot of political capital to remove the millions that Joe Biden just allowed to pour into your country for 4 years. For decades, USAID has sent money to these South and Central American countries to try and keep migration flows down, try to make things a little nicer so they don't all pour into this country. Perhaps the White House sees this aggressive style of foreign policy going after Colombia, going after Venezuela, trying to ouster, potentially, communism and put capitalism in. Perhaps they think that's a better deterrent in South America in the future than just sending them checks. Because as we know, Trump is not going to always be in power, and the left will get back into power. How do you stop that before they say, come on back in, and before the flows begin to move back up here and destroy all this hard work? Oil is also a good guess as far as what the motive is for this. Venezuela has the most oil in the world. Colombia also has a healthy amount of oil right next to Venezuela. You can knock off two communists and get cheaper gas. It's seen as a win-win in traditional American foreign policy. But Trump's not a traditional American foreign policy kind of guy, which is why all of this is so confusing right now. And this moment, what's happening, especially what's happening in Argentina, doesn't feel very MAGA. The guy that we love for ending wars right now is picking fights and getting threatened by the leader of Colombia. Listen to this.
Humanity has a first off-ramp. It is to choose to change Trump in various ways. The easiest way may be through Trump himself. If not, get rid of Trump.
All right, Congressman Thomas Massie joins us now from the Rotunda, even though the government is shut down, and it's good to see you, sir. I want to start with why you believe the White House is so interested in South America. Obviously, he's going after Argentina and Colombia. Both have, I would say, communists in charge there, and he's really trying to help in Argentina this capitalist Milei and kind of help prop him up as he does the heavy work of trying to rid the stink of socialism in his own nation. But it's not very America first, right? So why do you think they're so engaged in this in South America?
Well, I want to see Milei succeed, too.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the closest thing to a libertarian they have down there in South America,
right,
or conservative, if you will. But, you know, we have to keep America first. I think the $40 billion bailout is a little too much. And recently, I think the president put himself on the other side of our farmers in Kentucky when he said we're going to bring a bunch of the beef from Argentina to the United States.
Right, yeah, and the beef, we talked about that. Obviously, it's not very popular, especially with the cattle ranchers here in the U.S. The idea of bringing in foreign beef, flooding the market with that, lowering the prices is not popular at all. But it's seen as something to do with a hedge against China buying the beef and also helping Milei in another way. But do you think there's a reason why this White House is so engaged in this continent to our south? Is there some motive there that you think is happening?
Well, you know, the president ran on America First agenda,
yeah,
Make America Great Again. MAGA doesn't stand for Make Argentina Great Again. I think every president, when they get in there, they are tempted by the State Department and other actors into getting involved around the globe. It's one of those things, if things aren't going well domestically, you can look overseas for problems to solve. But I think we should be solving our own problems. And by the way, with the beef issue, I'm a beef farmer myself. I raise cattle, and I know that beef farmers have been really hammered for the last decade. And the solution that the president's proposing for Argentina is actually not a good solution for Americans. He makes it sound like he'll bring the price of beef down in the supermarket, but the reality is the farmers need to see a decent price for their cattle in the United States for the supply of cattle to expand here.
Yeah, the cattle ranchers don't like the idea at all. But it's funny, though, when you think about it. I mean, if you think about if he's trying to make a good deal with China and he's trying to kind of put them in a corner and force them to put a trade deal that's fair to the United States, you could almost see how he would need to do something with Argentina, because now Argentina's involved in this process as well. So there's kind of like three sides to it. So you could almost say in a weird way, because I've been trying to figure out what the hell is it about South America that they're so engaged in. I didn't know if it's, I know Rubio at the State Department is, he's the son of Cuban refugees. He hates communism. I didn't know if he was pulling them into this larger thing, or is it something to do with China? Because you would kind of want to use Argentina to try and force China into a better deal, which would be America first.
Well, I guess so. And China's very involved in Brazil as well.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's just like you said, Rob, if you touch two things, then it becomes three, and then three things become 5 or 10 things. And the best way to do this is free market principles. We're not going to beat the Chinese at their own game by manipulating currency or trying to tariff things out of existence. We need to let the free market work here. And, so I would say bring back country of origin labels, for instance. And I'm not against a free market importing beef from Argentina, but let people know when it gets here where it's coming from, and certainly don't subsidize it.
Yeah. I like you. I like your independent thought process. I like the way you think in Congress. There's not many of you out there. The president doesn't like you. You have a new primary challenger for 2026. His name is Ed Galrain. He's entered the race today after the president urged him to do so, and wrote that he called you a rhino that says you make life easy for the radical left, and Galrain has his complete and total endorsement. What's your reaction to that?
Well, my reaction is this. Ed Galrain lost his state Senate race here most recently, so he's a failed candidate. And the other thing is he's donated to Lindsey Graham and Mitch McConnell. He's not really a conservative, so don't believe that. I think the president's beef with me is that I'm too conservative. Yeah. And I don't think my constituents believe that. They want somebody who comes up here and votes their principles. I've been voting the same way for 13 years, regardless of who's president. I vote for less spending. I vote for less regulations. And sometimes that gets you in trouble up here.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, you and Rand Paul both pissed the president off, but I wouldn't call you a rhino. That's not the appropriate, he's pissed, but that's not the right, that's not the right label, I guess.
No, and in fact, I had lunch with Rand today in his office. We're two of the few people up here trying to work right now. And Rand's the same way, and we're both from Kentucky. That's what people from Kentucky appreciate. They want folks who'll come up here and fight for them, not join some caucus, and not always be a rubber stamp for any party or any president.
Yeah, understood. Congressman Massie, good to have you on. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Rob.
All right, Senator Jim Banks, state of Indiana, joins us tonight. Sir, it's good to have you on the show. There's a lot of attention from this White House on South America. You've got Venezuela, Colombia, Argentina as well, and there's a lot of people wondering why that is. And there's a lot of criticism that it doesn't feel very MAGA. Why do you think all this attention is going to the South?
Well, there's nothing more America first than taking out threats to the homeland. And in this case, you have narco-terrorists trafficking drugs into the United States, and President Trump doing what any good leader would do, preventing those drugs from coming into the U.S. before they get here, taking out the submarines and some of the drones and other vehicles that they're using to flood our country with more drugs. I fully support what President Trump is doing. His Article II powers as the commander-in-chief, President of the United States, allows him to do what's necessary to protect the homeland. And stopping drugs from killing more people in America is something that we all elected President Trump to do after 4 years of an open border and the weakest president that we ever had in American history. So more credit to President Trump for what he's doing on that front. Unfortunately, a lot of the usual suspects are complaining about President Trump doing what's necessary to take out these narco-terrorists. But I think you're going to find that most Americans support what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, I have no problem. You want to blow up drug boats, I think you do that all day long. But it's interesting to see that, it's almost like he's picking a fight with these two communist leaders in Colombia and in Venezuela. And then he's obviously, I love Javier Milei and I love what he's doing in Argentina, but he's making some moves there to kind of prop that up because that's very hard work he's trying to do to rip the socialism out of that economy. And there's some that think that, are we picking a fight to start some kind of a war? Are we in it for oil? Is there something going on here? Is this inspired by others inside the administration that are not so America first, that are more, globally involved? You don't think anything like that's going on?
Well, when it comes to Colombia or Venezuela, for example, you have leaders of those countries who are narco-terrorists themselves. I mean, they are part of the larger drug cartels that are flooding America with drugs. And President Trump has put them on full notice. If you keep doing it, there will be hell to pay. And that's exactly, I think, where you're seeing he's withholding foreign aid to Colombia, for example. And Petro, the leader in Colombia, again, he's a narco-terrorist himself, is complaining about it and threatening to take out President Trump in the process. So I think President Trump is fully right within his presidential powers to protect the United States and stopping drugs from flooding our country. I'll tell you, in Indiana, I talk to families all the time who lost a loved one to fentanyl or other drug poisonings that are drugs coming across the southern border, especially drugs in the Biden administration. Ask those families how they feel about this. They fully support President Trump. Yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with, I think, the plan. It seems to be a little different than what people expect from this president when he starts talking trash to foreign leaders and kind of stirring up that kind of stuff. He's the peace guy, right? He's the guy that goes out in the world and tries to make peace with everybody. And now you've got a big fight here with the Colombian leader. I want to get to this with you before I let you go. The CIA director, former CIA director John Brennan, referred to the DOJ for criminal prosecution. Jim Jordan alleging Brennan made numerous willfully and intentionally false statements when he testified in front of his congressional committee under oath, lying when he said the CIA did not use the Steele dossier for an intelligence assessment in Russia, and all that. What do you think of that? We always knew Brennan was a bad guy. I mean, he was a total partisan. He abused the powers of his office back in the Obama administration. He tried to block President Trump after President Trump was duly elected, and we spent. I was a freshman House member back in 2017 and 2018, and what Brennan and these guys did to derail President Trump, who was elected by the American people, to prevent him from doing what he was elected to do, to save the country. It's reprehensible, and he should be held accountable for he and so many others should be held accountable for how they abuse their power. And I'm glad that's finally happening. Yeah,
Brennan is terrible, and it's good to see that finally some real justice here in this country for someone like him. Senator Jim Banks, State of Indiana, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Up next, the border czar Tom Homan, as a Chicago judge, threatens the arrest of ICE agents.
Just before Charlie Kirk died, he issued a stark warning of terrifying dangers ahead. Charlie wrote this in the foreword for the new book, Pagan Threat, by Pastor Lucas Miles. Charlie said that Pagan Threat could save America and that you must read and share this book. A #1 Amazon bestseller, Pagan Threat is available everywhere. Get Pagan Threat free with Newsmax's special offer and save $30. Go online today and read Charlie's final words.
Hello, everyone. It's President Donald J. Trump, and it's Trump time. Check out this red beauty. It's one of my new watches. Wear it proudly on your wrist, and everyone will know exactly what it's for, who it represents. It's really going to be something special. It's for your favorite president. Get your watch today at GetTrumpWatches.com. These make a great gift. It's Trump time.
I'm Caden Ballas. I'm a race car driver from Concord, North Carolina, and I like to go fast. Consistency is everything. Every morning when I wake up, I take Balance to Nature fruits and veggies.
Get 35% off your first set as a preferred customer. Claim this offer by using discount code Newsmax.
Life's overwhelming, but I don't stress about meal planning anymore. How? Hungry Root. Hungry Root delivers healthy groceries with easy 4-ingredient recipes, so you can have a healthy, home-cooked meal in minutes. Hungry Root. Join now and get free veggies for life.
My employees and I want to thank all of you at Newsmax for your continued support of MyPillow. It's because of you and the grace of God that we're making it through. And to thank you, we're bringing you the best offers ever. Get our MyPillow bed sheets, only $29.88. Any color, any style, any size, even kings, regular $119.98, now only $29.88. Our My Towels are finally back in stock. Get a 6-piece My Towel set, regular $69.98, now only $39.98. Towels that actually work. What a concept. And for the first time and the only time ever, you're going to get our limited edition premium My Pillows. They're made with Giza cotton and a designer gusset. Queen $17.98, Kings only $19.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code when you order today. Inventory for these offers are extremely limited, and once they're gone, they're gone.
NBA stars these days?
Everybody does everything.
Dudes playing 1 through 5.
Bigs dishing out like family dinner.
Got me smashing triple doubles.
New customers bet $5 and get $300 if your bet wins paid in bonus bets. Plus, get 3 months of NBA League Pass on us.
All right, radical judges and lawfare continue to pester the Trump administration as they push common sense immigration policies. We have a second U.S. District Judge, Jeffrey Cummings, now ruling that ICE officers can be arrested at Cook County courthouses in Illinois if they violate his orders and arrest illegals without warrants. So you're going to have local authorities arresting federal immigration officers. The left, of course, loves using ideological judges like this as a hedge against democracy when elections don't go their way. This is what they do. In California, Mayor Karen Bass is even more radical. In her mind, nobody is illegal. Take a listen.
We know that this has impacted undocumented immigrants who in Los Angeles are Angelenos because we don't make the distinction. They are neighbors and workers contributing to our city, and they continue to be swept up in these actions, denied their rights, and subjected to fear and uncertainty without legal protection.
There's no distinction between citizens of Los Angeles and illegal immigrants in the mayor's mind. And Tom Homan is a border czar and joins us now. Sir, good to have you back on. We've said it a million times. You can't have a welfare state, especially like California, and also open borders together. It's a one-way ticket to a collapsing and bankrupt society. But I guess don't tell the mayor that.
Yeah, well, like she just rewrote federal law, apparently, because there's illegal aliens that are defined in federal statutes. They're defined in Title 8 United States Code. I mean, illegal aliens, a legal term, and they're in the United States. And if they're in the country legally, they should be afraid. They should be uncomfortable. It's not okay to be in this country illegally. It's not okay to enter this country legally. It's a crime. So she simply, is ignoring what federal statute says. And look, bottom line is, ICE is concentrating on public safety threats and national security threats. The data clearly shows it, and that's something they don't want to talk about. She ought to be thanking ICE for making LA safer, because that's exactly what they're doing. And as far as the judge in Chicago, I mean, we'll win that on appeal, because warrantless searches are allowed in federal law. Illegal aliens are likely to abscond. We've been arresting illegal aliens without warrants for decades. There's an administrative warrant that's part of the package, but we don't need a criminal warrant to arrest illegal aliens that's like to abscond. We take them in custody, then we go through the judicial proceedings. We're not going to stop doing what we're doing, and we'll win that on appeal.
Last week, we had a guy named Eduardo Aguilar, an illegal, arrested after posting on TikTok soliciting the murder of your ICE agents. He wrote in Spanish, 10 dudes in Dallas with determination who aren't afraid to, and then in 2 skull emojis, meaning to kill, offering $10,000 for each federal agent. When he was arrested, he had a 9mm loaded handgun on him. This is where we're at. And I wonder how much of this do you think is coming from cartels, and how much of it's just coming from the rhetoric that we've seen here from the left?
Well, I think it's both. I think the cartels are hurting right now because we've got the most secure border in the history of this nation, which hurts their bottom line. They've made record amounts of money smuggling dope, smuggling drugs across the country under the Biden administration, sex trafficking women and children, and alien smuggling. So now that border's secure, they're hurting. So the cartels are involved with, taking revenge on ICE and using internal gangs in the largest cities of this nation to attack ICE officers. But I think it's the cartels, but I also think it's the rhetoric, especially from elected mayors, elected governors, and elected congresspeople who want to compare ICE to terrorists and the Nazis. And, when the far fringe on the left that become violent against ICE, they feel emboldened when the United States senator or a congressperson or a governor says ICE are Nazis and they're racist. That emboldens them to take more action against ICE officers. And that's why the threats up and the attacks are up over 1,000%. And look, I thought after the numerous shootings in Texas where illegal alien was killed, a person was killed shooting at a border patrol facility, a couple of detainees were killed, an officer was shot in the neck at one of the detention facilities. I thought maybe the rhetoric would tap down actually to see what's happening because of that rhetoric. But no, they're not pulling back out. They continue to do it. And this weekend at the No Kings protest, I watched more of the rhetoric. They've lost their minds. And I'm telling you, the bloodshed's not over if we don't address the rhetoric. I would think first of all, anybody wants to protest ICE, you don't like what ICE is doing, then go up in Congress and protest them because they wrote the law that ICE is enforcing. Congress enacts the law, ICE is enforcing the law. So you don't like what they're doing? Yell at Congress. They wrote the law. So we got to put things in perspective. But ICE officers, again, the vast majority of the people there arrested public safety threats, and we're going to keep doing it.
Yeah, we talked a lot at the top of this show about what's happening with this administration in South America, and it's obviously everybody's interested in what exactly our interest is in Venezuela and now Colombia. There's been a lot of moves. We're putting a lot of support towards Argentina and the conservative government there, trying to kind of help him survive this as he tries to fix his economy there. And that's interesting to people that think America first. That's Trump's rhetoric has always been, what do we care about the rest of the world? Let's fix our own properties first. Is there any interest, is there any reason, is any part of the reason because of immigration? Are we trying to fix South America so that when you guys leave power, that we don't just import the rest of the world again? Is that a part of the equation at all?
Absolutely. I think President Trump's smart playing the away game. Let's stop illegal immigration before it reaches our border. Let's stop the drug flow before it gets to our border. So playing the away game makes sense. So he sent a strong message to criminal cartels who are smuggling, fentanyl and other poison into the United States that under Biden administration killed over 250,000 Americans. Playing the away game makes sense. If we can stop illegal migration in the home country, if we can help that country succeed in creating jobs and opportunities in those countries, that way hundreds of thousands of people don't spend their life savings to give to the criminal cartels to make that dangerous journey and either drown in the river or die in the desert or get sexually assaulted by members of the cartels. It makes sense to play the away game, and I support President Trump in this plan. I think it makes sense.
And rather than just dumping money from the State Department into these countries via USAID, fix the core issues of the nations, which is a lot of times is, a dictator, a communist dictator, and people that live an impoverished life.
Exactly. Giving them money has never worked. We've been doing that for decades, and money never gets where it belongs because a lot of these governments are corrupt. President Trump wants these corrupt governments to be dealt with, and I think that's exactly what he's doing.
All right. Tom Homan, the Border Czar. Thank you, sir. We appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
All right, for years we've heard speculation about a major market correction as the Dow just keeps climbing toward 50,000. So are we missing some serious warnings? What can we learn from the crashes of the past? CNBC's Andrew Ross Sorkin joins us coming up next.
I think the biggest selling point for Newsmax is we're not doing the same boring, predictable news. You flip through the other channels, you got these high-paid hosts. They say the same thing every night. You know what they're going to say. It's a little different.
Humana Medicare Advantage plans. Carry this card, and you could have the power to get benefits beyond original Medicare. These are convenient plans that offer all of the benefits of original Medicare, plus extra coverage and benefits. With a Humana Medicare Advantage plan, you could get doctor, hospital, and prescription drug coverage in one convenient plan with $0 copays on hundreds of prescriptions. All plans include dental coverage, including $0 copays for covered preventive services, vision coverage with eye exams, and an allowance to use towards eyewear, and hearing benefits with routine hearing exams and coverage toward hearing aids. That's more than you get with Original Medicare. But it gets even better because Humana offers plans with $0 or low monthly plan premiums. You may also get $0 copays for routine vaccines at in-network retail pharmacies, $0 copays for in-network primary care visits, and $0 copays for in-network preventive services. Plus, worldwide coverage for emergency and urgent care when you travel. And Medicare Advantage plans ensure your covered medical costs, including doctor and emergency care, will never go above a maximum out-of-pocket amount that you know beforehand. Imagine benefits like these in one convenient plan. Plus, you'll have access to Humana's multiple large plan networks of doctors, hospitals, and pharmacies. So if you want more from Medicare, call or scan the QR code now to see if there's a plan in your area that could give you extra coverage and benefits, including coverage for doctor, hospital, and prescription drugs, plus a cap on your out-of-pocket medical costs. And all plans include coverage for dental, vision, and hearing. A knowledgeable, licensed Humana sales agent will explain your coverage options, even help you enroll over the phone. Call today, but now is the time. The annual enrollment period ends December 7th. Humana, a more human way to healthcare.
Oh, for the love.
Hi, TVGD. Can you lower my monthly bill?
Nah, I can raise it.
You can what?
You'll see.
Save over $300 in your first year with 3 months free.
It's the Lumber Liquidators October Flash Sale with our biggest discounts of the season. Laminate flooring from 59 cents a square foot. Bellawood pre-finished Brazilian cherry now $3.49 a square foot. Find all our crazy low deals online or in store. Ends October 21st. LumberLiquidators.com.
Do you care where the economy is headed? What about elections? Or climate change? See the forecast consensus on our future at IBKR Forecast Trader. If you disagree, you can buy the contract that looks undervalued. But be careful. You must be right more than 50.5% of the time to win. Go to IBKR Forecast Trader.
One of my favorite supplements is Cunol Turmeric. Turmeric helps with healthy joints and inflammation support, and Cunol has the #1 doctor-recommended form of turmeric. Cunol, the brand I trust.
Welcome back. Let's talk about the economy, talk about tariffs for a second. It's been a very interesting year, one that has shocked a lot of the experts out there. Since Trump's Liberation Day, when the tariffs hit, stocks have soared to record highs, and the economy has somehow stayed strong. And that debunked the fears of the so-called panicans that we talked about months ago. A Washington Post op-ed last week, economists were wrong about tariffs. They need to figure out why. That was an interesting headline, talking about the predicted disaster. Events have not unfolded that way. The big thinkers got this one wrong. Pretty much everyone on Wall Street freaked out over Trump's tariff plan. When you think about it, our next guest was one of them. You'll recognize Andrew Ross Sorkin, the host of Squawk Box on CNBC. Take a look.
When did you talk about the rule of law when the border was open?
Constantly.
Okay.
And so you have a situation where the president effectively directed their own lawyer to bring that case.
I mean, this is about this. This is about the. I mean, this is. I mean, go for it. This is sort of off topic, is it? I mean, I know it gets to Trump, but.
Well, no, I think there's viewers who are watching us who are asking about.
That was a viewer. Did you like the 4 years of auto pen? Did you like the 11?
Yeah, actually, the markets did, the economy did. Yes, actually.
No one's waiting.
Andrew Ross Sorkin is the author of 1929, Inside the Greatest Crash in Wall Street History and How It Shattered a Nation. That's how I think a lot of people know you, sitting there kind of bickering with Joe Kernan.
Joe is going to love that clip, by the way. He's going to love that. I'm going to get a text message when this is over.
I'm sure you will. It's good to have you here on the set.
Thank you, pal.
You've got this new book, and it's if you like to read big books, this is a good one right here. And it's a very interesting story inside that book as well. We're going to talk about that and how it might relate to kind of some things today and some warning signs that maybe we're not seeing. But it's good to have you here. I want to start off with the tariffs, though.
Right.
This was back in early April, and you weren't alone. I think most of Wall Street was freaked out by this idea that we're going to become a tariff nation. He was talking about replacing the income tax with it and just totally changing this huge system that we have.
So I'll tell you where I got it wrong. Where I got it wrong, and I think Wall Street got it wrong, a lot of people got it wrong.
Yeah, a lot of people
was when he first made his pronouncement about, Liberation Day.
Yeah.
The tariff rates that he was talking about were
high,
super high.
Yeah.
And immediately the truth was that the bond market freaked out.
Yeah.
And to the president's credit, he actually looked at what was happening with the bond market and he said, you know what? I'm going to take some time. I'm going to try to figure this out. I'm going to negotiate country by country.
Right.
And he's been doing that.
Right.
And I think that we all there was a sort of hair on fire moment because people were thinking he's going to go do that.
People that voted for him thought that this is going to be a disaster. I mean, I talked to guys that love Trump, and they were worried about this.
And so the good news is I think he's now tried to figure out how can he do this. He's still trying to figure it out with China. There's still a couple other countries that he's trying to figure it out with.
Yeah.
And by the way, those are still real issues, and I think they're going to have an impact on the economy to some degree.
Yeah.
At the same time, one of the things that's fascinating about our economy right now is this whole AI boom and all the investment that's being made in America. By the way,
tons of money is coming in. Yeah.
And so tons of money is coming in.
Yeah.
To the president's credit, by the way. So I'm here to tell you.
It's trillions, I think, at this point,
it's
right?
It's happening.
Yeah.
But specifically, the AI boom is doing such an enormous job. I don't want to say to paper over other problems, but the truth is this boom.
You think that's carrying the market?
The boom, it is carrying the stock market, and to a large degree, it's carrying the economy. I mean, writ large. Because the good news is it's not just technology that's going to succeed because of AI. A lot of that money is flowing into real estate and energy and construction and all sorts of things.
Sure. Well, let's set tariffs aside for a second because when the thing does fall down, of course, Trump will get the blame. But I mean, a lot of people have been talking about a correction in this country for a few years now.
Right.
I mean, we have so much debt, not just national debt, but we have, household debt is so high. Everything's expensive as hell. Nobody seems to have any money. The stock market's very high. The home prices are through the roof. It just feels like it's at some point, when does this come down? Is what I think people wonder because it just feels like it's been propped up by government spending and
no, there's no
money
question.
For a
it
long
feels
time.
like we're levitating.
Yeah.
I don't want to tell you that we're not levitating.
And I know you guys get very cautious about predicting anything.
No,
because,
what I don't know is what would be the inflection point in all of this. The money continues to be spent, and it's real money. This is not fake money. This is a lot. This is hundreds of billions of dollars. And so the question is there going to be a moment in the market where the investor class says, you know what? We don't like this. We think you guys are spending too much money, spending it indiscriminately.
Right.
That's when people will say, okay, maybe we got to turn this off. And if that happens, then I think we could have a correction of sorts. I hope not some kind of 2008 crash. I think to some extent people talk about this being more like the dot-com bubble. And there was a bubble towards the the end of the 90s. And then there was, it popped.
Yeah. Let's get to the book for a second. 1929. I mean, this was the classic market crash that everybody learns about when they're in grade school, but nobody really knows a lot about it. There were a lot of warnings for what happened here. What's the message? Why read this book right now? I guess is the question.
So
this is almost 100
honestly,
years ago.
I didn't write this book for today to tell you about what was going to happen tomorrow. I wrote this book because I wanted to understand, I think like most Americans, what actually happened in 1929 and who the characters were, and I wanted to be in the room with them. So I've been living in archives and getting memos and letters and notes and diaries of the people who really were running America, including Hoover and Roosevelt and all of the bankers. I mean, you will be in there and you'll see how this really happened. But the lesson of it all, I think more than anything, is you got to watch for how much debt, how much money people are taking out to borrow. That is it. And people were going out back then and borrowing like crazy. There were brokerage houses on the corners of the streets like Starbucks, and you could go in there and they would lend you $10. You put down $1, they'd lend you $10. And so I think the trick right now is just to watch for sort of how much debt people are building. And there's the corporate debt, and by the way, now there's the government debt. By the way, back in 1929, there was a budget surplus in this country.
Those days are over. Never to be seen again. Andrew Ross Sorkin, 1929 is the book. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Really appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you.
Construction on the Trump ballroom begins. The left goes berserk over the demo photos. We got that next with Mercedes Schlapp and Larry Elder.
Hear that sound? Oh, that's music to my ears. I love that sound.
You know Rob Finnerty. He's smart, bold, and stands strong for your values. Rob is fighting for you. Watch Finity weeknights only on Newsmax.
I wish my TV provider let me choose what I pay for.
Sling lets you do that, Clock Boy.
Choose and customize your channel lineup or pause and watch for free. Sling lets you do that. Base package required.
With today's NBA stars, no lead is safe.
Hoopers get hot like
We got a lead against the Joker. Joke's on you.
New customers bet $5 and get $300 if your bet wins paid in bonus bets. Plus, get 3 months of NBA League Pass on us.
What's gold is new again. Pardon the pun. But considering gold has been used as currency since around 550 BC, it has been on fire the past year. I'm here with Daniel Boston, the founder of Preserve Gold. Why is gold so stable and such a good investment for many people?
Take the central bank, for example, the Federal Reserve. They print money out of thin air, and then they take that printed money to go buy hard assets like gold to protect themselves against the very risks that they're creating. So I always tell people, don't do what the big players are telling you to do. Do what they're doing themselves.
Yeah, watch what they're doing.
That's correct.
Okay. If people are interested in investing with Preserve Gold, how do they get started?
Text Newsmax to 50505 to get your free information and up to $15,000 in free gold and silver with a qualified purchase. That's right. Text Newsmax to 50505.
All right. No way you can miss it.
As we mark 250 years of America, Wounded Warrior Project honors those who serve. They've given us their commitment and sacrifice. We're here to give them a brighter future. Our programs and services help warriors access VA benefits, improve mental and physical health, and thrive for a lifetime. They've given us their best. Join us in supporting them through the next 250 years of strength and resilience. Visit woundedwarriorproject.org/USA250.
Total Beats Ultimate Heart Health is the newest innovation from America's best-selling Beats brand. Ultimate Heart Health contains a key ingredient clinically shown to deliver 2 times better blood pressure support, plus CoQ10 for even better heart health. Find Total Beats Ultimate Heart Health at Walmart today.
My employees and I want to thank all of you at Newsmax for your continued support of MyPillow. It's because of you and the grace of God that we're making it through. And to thank you, we're bringing you the best offers ever. Get our MyPillow bed sheets, only $29.88. Any color, any style, any size, even kings, regularly $119.98, now only $29.88. Our My Towels are finally back in stock. Get a 6-piece My Towel set, regular $69.98, now only $39.98. Towels that actually work. What a concept. And for the first time and the only time ever, you're going to get our limited edition premium My Pillows. They're made with Giza cotton and a designer gusset. Queen $17.98, Kings only $19.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code when you order today. Inventory for these offers are extremely limited, and once they're gone, they're gone.
We're building a world-class ballroom. We have a little cocktail area, but we don't have a ballroom. The East Room, it's called, is very small. I said, if I do this again, I'm going to get a ballroom built, and we're putting up our own money. With the government is paying for nothing. You probably hear the beautiful sound of construction to the back. You hear that sound? Oh, that's music to my ears. I love that sound. Other people don't like it. I love it. I think when I hear that sound, it reminds me of money. In this case, it reminds me of lack of money because I'm paying for it.
Construction has begun on Trump's privately funded $250 million new East Room ballroom. This, I think it's like 90,000 square feet, and check me if I'm wrong on that. A map of where the construction is taking place. You can see there right along the East Wing. The ballroom itself is going to be absolutely gorgeous, and this is something that a White House does need if you want to throw events and things like that. And it's going to adapt perfectly to the way the White House looks, so it's going to be beautiful, and it's going to be very much the same. It's not going to stand out. It's not going to be modern or anything like that. It's going to look just like the White House. But of course, the lefties are losing it over this. Let's listen to Rachel Maddow, unfortunately.
He started literally physically tearing down the White House. Trump literally today sent a rental backhoe to physically rip down the East Wing of the White House. Okay. He took up parts of the White House lawn to put up huge flagpoles so he could fly novelty-size American flags over the White House to make it look like it's an RV dealership that's going out of business.
If she's mad, I'm happy. It's gotten to that point with Rachel Maddow. I like the big American flags, and what did he ripped off the facade of the East Wing, just the outer wall, so they can make a connection there, and then enlarge it. This is part of the demolition process. This is part of the construction process, Rachel. We know you don't understand any of this because you've been a nerd your whole life, but there's some things that got to get a little dirty before they can get nice again. Some food for thought. In 1942, FDR built the East Wing addition to the White House. This is not like, that's not that long ago, considering the country's, 250 years old. Before that, in 1933, the left's favorite president, Rachel Maddow's favorite president, FDR, installed an indoor movie theater and indoor swimming pool at the White House as well. FDR was in there for, 16 years? The indoor swimming pool was covered in 1970 at the direction of President Nixon after JFK had a lot of fun in it. And he created the White House briefing room right on top of that pool. Nixon then installed a game room. He put a bowling alley in. Gerald Ford moved the swimming pool outside in 1975. None of this is really all that uncommon. Obviously, what Trump's doing is a pretty big deal, but people have been tinkering with the White House for a very long time. It's had complete gut renovations. It has changed. Mercedes Schlapp and Larry Elder join us now. Mercedes, a scrolling graphic we put together showing the White House renovations since John Adams moved in back in 1800. We're going to let this play out as we listen to you speak about this, but they sure are mad. And I think that's going to be interesting when it ends up looking beautiful, because everything that he builds actually does turn out to be quite beautiful.
That's right. I mean, you should be putting patriotic music behind that timeline, Rob, because look, Trump is the builder in chief. If there's anyone who has vision, who understands construction, who understands renovation, it's Donald Trump. And so he's the president you want moving forward and building this 90,000 square foot ballroom. I'll tell you, you've been in the West Wing, you've been in the White House. It is not a very big space.
No.
And it is much needed when you're entertaining hundreds of individuals who are coming. I got to tell you, you go visit these other countries where you go to these presidential palaces, not the White House necessarily. They have these entertaining spaces. This is an opportunity to bring more Americans to the White House. And quite frankly, Donald Trump has the best taste to get this done.
Larry, the White House. I've been there. I haven't seen the entire thing, but I was shocked by it, kind of how it's a bit run down and it's not nearly as big and spectacular as people would think. This seems to be warranted. I mean, you need a place to have a party at the White House.
It certainly does not compare very well to Mar-a-Lago. Recall when Donald Trump first moved in there in 2017, he called it a dump. For the people who are complaining, remember, not one dime, as the president said, of taxpayer dollars goes towards this. Contrast that to the Obama Presidential Center in Chicago, which is supposed to be self-funding. Apparently not even raised a part of the money, so I got a feeling taxpayers are going to be on the hook for it. And it looks like a fire hydrant. And it's it raised the property values around there, displaced a lot of black people. That is an absolute disaster. Where is Rachel Maddow on that?
What in the hell, Larry, did they do with the Obama Presidential Library? It's got to be one of the worst projects I think I've ever seen. How did they screw it up so bad?
They screwed it up so bad because 50% of the projects go for DEI. So you have a bunch of contractors, many of whom are not competent, lawsuits flying back and forth, cost overruns. It's a monument to everything wrong with DEI.
Yeah, it's everything. Yeah. It's a perfect example of what they're going to bring when they get into government. Mercedes and Larry, I'll see you guys soon. Thanks so much. We appreciate it. We'll leave it there. All right, where you must swear your allegiance to DEI to get a job. Next in News from the Left.
As a neurologist, my patients are often concerned with age-related memory decline. I recommend Cunol Brain Health with 2 powerful, high-absorption ingredients clinically shown to improve memory, focus, attention, and more. Cunol, the brand I trust.
Hello, everyone. It's President Donald J. Trump, and it's Trump time. Check out this red beauty. It's one of my new watches. Wear it proudly on your wrist, and everyone will know exactly what it's for, who it represents. It's really going to be something special. It's for your favorite president. Get your watch today at GetTrumpWatches.com. Please make a great gift. It's Trump time.
Hi there, I'm Dean Heskin, President and CEO of Swiss America. Most investors believe their IRA, 401k, and bank accounts are reliable and safe. But what if our economy becomes so dire that you're restricted from accessing your own money? The fact is that should your bank be in trouble for holding bad loans, the burden could fall on you to help bail them out. Even more concerning is that U.S. financial regulations allow banks to impose withdrawal limits on your hard-earned savings. But there's something you can do about it. Our team at Swiss America has a report called The Secret War on Cash. Learn how to protect yourself with assets that can remain outside the control of banks and other financial institutions. For over 40 years, Swiss America has been one of the most trusted metal firms in the country. So don't wait. Call or text the number on your screen today for financial peace of mind in these uncertain times.
Dreaming of a new kitchen? Stop waiting! Cabinets to Go's flash sale is going on now. For 4 days only, get 40 to 50% off our top-selling collections. Malibu White, Spring Hill Hickory, Kensington Mist, and more. Come in today and our expert designers will help you get started with a free 3D design. It's never been easier or more affordable to bring your dream kitchen to life. Hurry, the flash sale ends October 21st. Visit CabinetsToGo.com to find a store near you. Cabinets to Go, designed to wow!
When someone says, let's impose tariffs on foreign imports, it looks like they're doing the patriotic thing by protecting American products and jobs. And sometimes for a short while it works, but only for a short time. But over the long run, such trade barriers hurt every American worker and consumer. High tariffs inevitably lead to retaliation by foreign countries and the triggering of fierce trade wars. Then the worst happens. Markets shrink and collapse, businesses and industries shut down, and millions of people lose their jobs. Throughout the world, there's a growing realization that the way to prosperity for all nations is rejecting protectionist legislation and promoting fair and free competition. America's jobs and growth are at stake.
With today's NBA stars, no lead is safe.
Bet on it. Up 20 used to be a lock.
To Steph, Booker, and Brunson, that's fool's gold.
Got a lead against the Joker? Joke's on you.
Hoopers get hot like pop, pop, pop. And your bet just cashed.
That's money.
New customers bet $5 and get $300 if your bet wins, paid in bonus bets. Plus, get 3 months of NBA League Pass on us. The crown is yours.
Healthy aging support starts here with the innovative nitric oxide science pioneered by Homan, supporting your body from the heart out through circulation, blood flow, blood pressure, and energy. Results you can feel, science you can trust. Get started today at livehuman.com.
Welcome back. Time now for news from the left. A friend of this show, radio host Jason Rantz, exposing at the University of Washington, professors must now swear allegiance to DEI in the application process. Saying that the process of wanting to be a psychology professor includes applicants submitting a one-page diversity statement describing their identity, positionality, experience, and commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion in alignment to the APA's Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Framework. Candidates must also describe your philosophy of teaching and learning, including how your work will further the College of Education's commitment to racial equity and social justice. This is how they're making sure that every single person that comes into these universities is of one political ideology. They're all Marxists. They all are trying to subvert this country in every possible way, and they just sit there and grow. These little cultures just grow inside of these universities. We have a real big problem. Next up, after pretending to be offended by Trump's retweeted poop video that stars him, teeny bopper Democrat influencer Harry Sisson, who in the video we can show you right here. Oh, we just pulled away. Well, he's the first guy that gets the poop on him. Oh, there he is right there. This little guy is posting on X, feeling good knowing I live rent-free in the minds of the president and vice president. I can tell you that Harry Sisson has tweeted out about this about 5,000 times in the 2 days since Trump put that video out. Imagine such a valueless existence where the posting of an insulting video toward you is somehow the most important moment of your life. That is the life of a social media influencer, apparently. Next up, Democrat Sam Harris defending the legacy media for covering up the Hunter laptop story in 2020. Watch this, try not to gag.
I still don't know what journalists should have done there, and I think it's totally reasonable for them to have said, this looks like Russian disinformation. None of this sounds right, and we're not going to figure this out in time. So let's just circle the airport here for 10 days so as not to screw up another presidential election. That strikes me still as the sanest policy, given what we knew at the time.
An absolute BS artist. By the way, it wasn't 10 days, Slick, and it took CBS News, CBS, the home of 60 Minutes, more than 2 years to confirm the laptop is real because nobody wanted to talk about the story. They had their marching orders. The Democrat Party had taken over the media, and then they scream at Trump for being authoritarian. And finally, for all the pregnant fools out there chugging the pills on TikTok to own Trump and RFK Jr. when it comes to autism, something for you. The Daily Caller obtaining documents saying the FDA stayed silent as internal acetaminophen risks piled up, defying their own advice of drug safety experts warning pregnant women about acetaminophen for nearly a decade. Documents show the 2016 review described 4 recent publications, 2 providing modest evidence in favor of an association between prenatal acetaminophen exposure and behavioral attentional problems. Yes, that's the reality of the situation. Stop taking the pills if you're pregnant. All right, a good look at J.B. Pritzker and Brandon Johnson's Chicago up next.
Closed captioning brought to you by MagnaLife Knee Pain Relief for pain, stiffness, and inflammation of the knees.
The pain in your knees is real. Here's what real customers have to say about MagnaLife Knee Pain Relief Gel. It has worked wonders. I love it.
Available at your local retailer.
He's breathing. Okay, go again. Children account for 75% of choking deaths.
That's why I recommend everyone have a life vac in your home, car, or business.
The life vac is simple to use. Just place, push, and pull.
Its suction removes an obstruction out of the airway quickly, saving a life.
If you use your life vac for an emergency, we'll replace it for free. Order now.
Go to lifevac.net or call 877-543-3822.
Every day, bumps and bangs happen. Bruises are optional. Used daily, dermatologist recommended Dermend Moisturizing Bruise Cream can help restore your skin's natural barrier and reduce the appearance of bruises. If you have mature skin and bruise easily, get Dermend Moisturizing Bruise Cream in the first aid aisle and get back to having way too much fun.
Back in the day, you bet sinners just to get boards. Word. Now I take them to make threes.
Today's NBA stars, everybody does everything.
Ant-Man, SGA, Luka, dudes playing 1 through 5.
Bigs dishing out like family dinner.
Woo! Got me smashing triple doubles. Shaq, basketball, not burgers.
New customers bet $5 and get $300 if your bet wins. Paid in bonus bets. Plus, get 3 months of NBA League Pass on us. The crown is yours.
Stop buying generic Viagra if you're over 60. You qualify for 9 tablets of 100 milligram generic Viagra for just $7 with free shipping from Friday Plans. I thought it was a scam, but I tried it and I'm so glad I did. All you need to do is go to FridayPlansVIP.com and fill out a quick online form. It took me under 2 minutes, and their licensed doctor approved me for a free prescription the same day. They even included free 3-day discreet shipping right to my door. I tried my first tablet, and within 30 minutes, it was working as well as the name brand. My wife can't stop smiling, and I feel like I'm in my 20s again. Go to FridayPlansVIP.com and see for yourself. I still can't believe I got 9 tablets of 100 milligrams generic Viagra for just $7. It's the best $7 I've spent in years. Don't miss out on this deal. My only regret is waiting so long. Go to FridayPlansVIP.com now.
The best investment we can make is in our health.
With our Aquasana water filter, we know we're drinking cleaner, healthier water.
And that will pay the highest dividends.
Cheers.
Now up to 50% off at aquasana.com.
Some mornings the road calls for more than just horsepower. It asks for intention, precision, a quiet confidence that doesn't need to announce itself. It's the details, how you carry the moment that sets the tone. This isn't just about looking sharp, it's about feeling ready. Crafted for motion, built with purpose, designed to perform from sunrise to last light. Collars & Co. Presence starts here. Try it for yourself today at collarsandco.com.
Finally tonight, a good look at J.B. Pritzker and Brandon Johnson's Chicago. Previously withheld video, now released by CWB Chicago. Watch this closely here. One of the brutal loop puncher, boom, right there, attacks. A series of unprovoked assaults in downtown Chicago. This is one of them here. That's a man, if you call him a man, William Livingston, running up behind an Illinois mom, Kathleen Miles, sucker punching her right in the face, knocking her unconscious. We'll show it one more time in broad daylight. She suffered broken bones in the face, black eye concussion. Look at that. Livingston charged with 3 aggravated battery charges, bodily harm, reckless conduct. He's a career criminal, rap sheet very long, at least 12 arrests since 2012 for battery or aggravated assault. Finity's up next. You know, in a normal society with a rap sheet that long, when you do something like that, adios, amigo. Just get rid of these people. I don't understand how we keep, and not only do we not do that, we just let them back out. Who's the next mom you're going to jack in the face at an intersection?
No, happening in American cities that look like Gaza in some cases, and Portland, Oregon is another one, and we're going to go there tonight on Finity. Thanks, Rob.